Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of MK Invasion here Tuesday nights over at Forever Entertainment. Tonight's first sponsor is Flower City Butcher. The Flower City Butcher is the upcoming psychological slasher film. Forever Entertainment, starring award-winning actor Christine Betcher. It's usually see I'm used to seeing, and of course, the horror icon Ari Lehman. So I was used to seeing him first on there. So yeah, so brand new Kickstarter campaign is now live and has lots of exciting opportunities for campaign backings, including acting opportunities, official producer credit, screen use, items, and more. So donate to the film and campaign and sharing the link with their followers so they can get as many eyes as possible on the second sponsor is Final Girl, which I definitely think you guys need to go and check out. They have some cool merch there for sure. It's the brand new lifestyle, brand new, featuring all of your favorite models. Final Girls don't dress victims, they dress survivors. Sign up today for all their free heartbreaking stories or series and support for your favorite model. And that is at www.scarezone.net. So definitely get over there. They have some really cool designs. And tonight, our guest, we are going into the paranormal and we have Eugene Johnson. So Eugene, welcome to MK Invasion over here at Forever Entertainment. Those of you who are here, if you have not hit that like, subscribe button, please do so. Hit that notification bell and definitely share. So welcome Eugene to MK Invasion over here at Forever Entertainment. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Thank you for having me tonight, Chloe.
Yes, great. It's great having you. So why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you do and kind of why you're here? I guess would be a great start.
Okay. Well, my name is Eugene Johnson. I was born and raised in Kentucky. I still live here. Little bitty town called Winchester, about 20 minutes out of Lexington. If anybody's familiar with Lexington, we have UK basketball and, of course, horses and, of course, bourbon. So, well, anyway, my grandmother, I was raised with my grandparents. And my grandmother was diagnosed with cancer in 2002, the end of 2002. I was 17 at that time, and I remember it so well because we were actually at the emergency room with her, and it was the anniversary of 9/11, the first anniversary. So, um, that went on for a little while. And then in June of 2003, she was really bad. I mean, she was really, really bad. And she wanted to pass away at our house. She didn't want to be in a hospital, which I can understand. And so hospice came in. They brought her a hospital bed that was set up in the living room.
Oh, that'd be
And short,
hard. Oh, that'd be
yeah.
hard.
And shortly after that, I would go out and walk around and stuff like that. I didn't want to be at home because of what was happening, because she was basically my mother.
Yes.
And I didn't,
It's hard. My grandmother went into a nursing home and it's hard to watch. I had a hard time even going around it at a certain point. As horrible as it sounds, it's the truth. It's a part,
yeah,
we're
yeah.
human.
Yeah, and I mean, I didn't want to stand there and see her just, waste away to nothing.
Oh, I bet
S-
not.
So I would walk around at night, stuff like that. I was hardly ever home, I'd just walk around. But one night, shortly before her death, I was in my room. I had just got done smoking, and I was laying there wide awake, and I put my cigarette out and I was laying there just looking at the ceiling, and I smelled a strong smell of smoke. And I was like, oh crap, the bed's on fire. you know, I was like, my
Right?
actions.
Where
Yeah.
is the fire extinguisher?
Yeah. I was like, my bed is on fire. And I started looking at the bed and I'm like, no, that's not it. And then I got a strong smell of sulfur.
Oh.
And I was like, it's not a cigarette. This is not, nothing's burning.
Oh, yeah, the sulfur smell. Ugh.
Yeah. And I look over in the corner of my room and there stands a figure at least 10 to 12 feet tall, has to be. Its back is touching the ceiling, and
Yeah.
it's wearing like a cloak that kind of would remind you of this. You remember the old bags that they put potatoes in?
Yes. I say, like, the Grim Reaper cloak
Yeah,
is that's what
yeah,
we talked backstage, and I have seen something similar, so I can
yeah.
I get actually, like, the goosebumps when you talk about it, and I've seen it a couple times, and it's never comes
No,
at good times.
but the
Uh-uh.
thing is, when I seen it, I didn't feel fear. It was more of like, oh God, what is that?
So yeah. Well, I thought, "Oh god, what's gonna happen?" is what I
Yeah,
thought. It wasn't like I was afraid of it itself. It was like,
yeah,
because I remember telling my aunt, I was like, "What's gonna and she's like, "Well, we'll just see what days, count the days here and see if something happens," is what she
hmm,
left it as, and then yeah.
yeah,
So, that's why it brings me the chills. It itself is not, but what it brings is a whole
yeah,
'nother story.
yeah. But anyway, this thing was standing there, and like I said, I didn't feel fear, but I was frozen,
Yeah, yeah.
and I couldn't move, and
Did
I
you
was
just
like,
know something bad was gonna happen?
yeah,
Couldn't shake it?
it was like a feeling of dread,
Yes. Yes.
and but anyway, it raised its hand, and like I told you earlier, for any of the viewers that seen Pumpkinhead, its hands were really huge, and its fingers were really long, but they were really dainty, if you want to call it that. They were really, really small, but they were really big too. And it pointed at me, and it had, I would say, it looked like a demon's hands.
Yeah.
Had long nails, and then
Jointy.
yeah, and
Yes.
then it bent down like right
Ugh.
here. And I mean,
Bony, it's like yes. Yeah.
all it had to do was bend down, and it was in my face.
Yeah.
And then it was on the other side of the room.
Did it show you
And
its face
no,
ever?
it
Like
didn't show. It didn't
no.
show me its face at all. But I was looking into the cloak over its head. It had like a hooded cloak, and I was looking into it, but it was like an eternal
Yeah.
murky darkness, is what it was. I mean, I've been hunting at
Mhm.
3 o'clock in the morning, where out in the woods you can't see your hand in front of your face, and like
The
for like
darker than
2 inches.
dark. Yeah.
Yeah, but this was darker than that. It
Yes.
was a it,
I call it the
it was
darker than dark, the void.
yeah, it was a supernatural dark is what I
Yes.
call it.
I've
And
said they're like ET, if you do the same thing, if you look in there, I said it's like looking into the infinity void of nothingness. It's
yeah,
just and it's not like if you're like seeing out if you're out in the dark and you thought that there was something in front of you. There
oh
it's like
yeah,
there is nothing. Like it feels like it's empty like for
hmm,
I don't know. It's crazy to think about.
yeah. And I mean, but the thing is, looking into that, it made me feel like that there's more things in this universe that you don't understand.
Oh yeah.
There are things out there that nobody's seen, and hopefully nobody ever does see. And I mean, but yeah, looking into its in that blackness was something I'll never forget.
You don't.
But
You can't
uh,
shake it.
yeah, and it started to move a little bit closer, and I screamed, and it was gone. It just disappeared, and everything was back to normal. And but needless to say, I went on the back
Still
porch and
can't
stayed.
shake it, could you?
Yeah, yeah, I went to see, and the thing is, hospice was there. My grandmother was in the very next room, and she was asleep. They had her on some pretty bad medications
Oh,
for her
yeah.
pain. And I mean, but the
How
hospice
many
nurse was there.
days between?
Uh, I'm gonna probably say about a month.
Oh, it was about a month. See, that's usually within a month. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah,
Wow. when I saw my grandmother, when I got thinking back to it, she had broke her hip with 3 days, but it had been about with I can't remember the exact span, but it was so I think it falls right in there. That's wow. Wow.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's a you know,
So
that's a lot, especially when you know something and you don't shake it until it happens and you just feel in your gut, you're like, "No, this is what I've been talking about." It's
yeah,
like this entire time what I've been talking about. So,
yeah. And I mean,
wow.
but the thing is, I saw that, and as soon as I seen it, I got up and went on the back porch. It was a screened-in porch, and I stayed there till daylight.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I would
And
have
I mean,
too.
yeah, it was. I mean, it was really like I said. I didn't feel like it was there to harm me, but it was definitely an experience. I will say that. I mean, I had, um, I've had tons of things happen to me since, but nothing can compare to that.
No, I bet not. No, absolutely not. And you were close we talked backstage, you're close to your grandmother and grandpa. I was really close to my grandma, Joseel, and, like, her and I mean, my whole entire life. So, it was and I think too, because them being older, it's like, I almost remember at times, like, I was mad at her, like, she couldn't keep up or do things, and it wasn't like I was mad at her for that, but I think I was mad at her for, that aging, because obviously, like,
Yeah,
grandparents are a little bit older usually, typically, like, when they have so, yeah, that's a hard one. Usually, when you have that relationship with your grandparents, it's like it's a forever void. It really is. Like, that I'm so sorry. But I still with my grandma, and it's been I don't know how many years, I still tear up over it. Like, her and I were like this. And
yeah,
and you too, and you talked about it, like, okay, and once she's gone, the whole system is gone. Like, the
yeah.
system
It's
has collapsed. People have
yeah,
collapsed in the system of our family, and it's like nobody is the same. Like nothing
mhm,
is done. It's like the traditions, they're gone.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
like it's gone with that. So that's
yeah.
a lot to digest.
That was the first year in our family that we didn't put up a Christmas tree.
Oh, I bet not. Yeah,
Yeah,
you probably have
because
you put up one since?
yeah, yeah, of
Oh,
course. But
good.
I mean,
I haven't. I haven't. I know.
but no, that see, she was always when it came to holidays, she was always the one cooking Thanksgiving dinner. She was always the one that
Yeah.
enjoyed putting up decorations and everything like that, and it just wasn't the same. So I mean,
It's never the same, like yeah, I know. I'm like, I remember all
yeah,
those, like, fruit cakes she used to get, like, she just had like, she owned the salon, so she had, like, a ton of, like, all that Christmas candy. There's not that doesn't exist anymore, it's
yeah,
like, where the do you can even buy those fruit cakes anymore, you know?
yeah,
It's like, I don't even know, but everything changes, and with that, your whole world changes. So,
yeah.
kind of is that what caused you to become interested in the paranormal, or was it before where you had that connection with the paranormal?
Back when I was a kid, I was probably 6 or 7 years old. My uncle would go to the mom and pop video stores back on VHS a long time ago, and he would bring home a couple of movies that he would rent, and one of them was The Legend of Boggy Creek. And from that moment on, you got to remember, I was probably 6, 7 years old when I watched it for the first time, and it absolutely scared me to death because I was like, "Oh God, there's this big hairy creature that lives in the woods," and I'm sitting there going, and then after I got over the being scared of the movie, I was like, "That's pretty neat," and so I started going to the libraries and stuff like that, getting uh, books about Bigfoot, UFOs, ghosts, and all that type of thing. So,
So you kinda started like, that changed that's interesting you say that, like, with ET, like, the moment I encountered a UFO, I had to know more about it. I
hmm
absorbed myself in it. Like, every night, I was out looking for it's like, it instantly changed. It was like, I no longer had to question whether or not this was real. It's
hmm
real. So now I, like, I had to know I mean, for years and years, Like, I just absorbed every part of it, every piece of information I could get my
Yeah,
hands on, because you wanna know more, and you wanna
yeah.
understand it then.
Well, I mean, yeah, I know they're real. I actually stood outside at the place I live right now and seen 3 orange balls float across the sky, one right
Oh, you
after another.
did? Oh, you saw the light bulb I could ca light spheres. I
Yep,
always call them light bulbs. I had different names for 'em. What you said you saw 3 red ones go across? Like the
3 orange ones.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
cool.
they were in a perfect line, and
Mhm.
right when they got in the middle of the sky, I was standing there looking at every one of them, and each time they would just fade out, just
Yeah, they're
completely,
good.
just completely disappeared. And the thing that got me wondering was shortly after that, a helicopter flew over my apartment.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I've had so many of those.
Yep, but
I told my brother I had this because I when I first started looking for answers, I came across this YouTube channel and this oh gosh, Christos Rapallo. He happened to have this documentary, The Curse of the Man Who Can See UFOs, and so he's teaching me how to signal. But this one that I had, I swear to you, and did it like 7 times in one day. A black helicopter would come down, and I made my brother come over. I was like, "You got to see this." The neighbor lady runs over. She's like, "I thought that was gonna land in the yard." It was so low that I could see it. I was up on the second floor, and I could see it like I could see it. Like I could see I couldn't exactly see who was flying it, but I could see like it was not he wasn't much above my head. Like at any
yeah,
point in time, they was that low, and you don't hear them until they're right down on you. It's like,
yeah,
whoa,
yeah,
it's like they're crazy. Yeah. I always
yeah,
thought black, why weren't they white? Wouldn't they blend in? But no, those suckers, they come right down on you and you're like, wow, so that
yeah,
tells you got something going on there when you see them
yeah.
around.
Yeah, but no, I saw three, like I said, 3 orange balls float across the sky in synchronicity with one another. And I mean, they just started to fade out one at a time. And the next thing I know, I'm sitting in the living room and I hear helicopters. And I'm like, what's going on? And I go outside and a helicopter was like circling my apartment. So I was like, okay.
Wow.
But
Yeah. They're
yeah,
trying to get your attention, huh?
yeah, but also something happened to me on one of the back roads when I first started going around. I actually picked up a few girls one night,
Oh, this
and
is where the story always gets good.
we went out
Do
on
tell, Eugene. You do tell.
we went out on Red River Road just to hang out and talk and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
it was some kind of a deserted country road, and
I
we're
bet.
out there, and a couple other girls come along in a car, and we was all talking and stuff. So the girls left with them.
Just talking.
I swear to God, hold my hand to God. But so they get in the car with the other girls and they take off, and I'm by myself. So I'm like, I'm 22 at the time, 22, 23, something like that. And so I'm like, well, I'm not going to stay down here. So I'm just going to go home and, go to bed. So I start to go home and I'm halfway to home out of the country. And all of a sudden, these two bright lights appear in the rearview mirror.
They weren't the
And
ghosts.
I'm like, what the hell is that? This guy's, tailgating me and it's making me mad.
Road rage.
So,
Yeah.
yes. So I'm on this curvy country road in the middle of nowhere at about 3 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, okay, you want to do that? I was like, we'll do it. And I just, sped up. I was going 80 miles an hour on the country road in the dark is never a good idea.
No, no, I
So,
live in Iowa, so I know what those country roads are like.
yeah. So I'm looking in the rearview mirror and I'm not losing him. And I'm going, what the hell is this guy wanting? And so I speed up a little bit more and I'm like and I'm like leaning and I'm like, what the hell is going on? And, but so I'm like, this guy's not moving at all. And All of a sudden, they go completely out. And I'm like, well, he turned. And I get to looking and I'm like, there's no way he could turn because there's a fence there. If he had turned, he would have been in a field. He would have had to go through a fence into a farm field, a cow field.
It's not me.
But it had to be, and he turned off. And I was like, there's no way he could turn off if he's in a car. Because it was surrounded by woods and a fence, and I mean it was out in the middle of nowhere. So the first thing I did was pull over, and I look in the rearview mirror. There's nothing there, but I get out with a 9mm, and I'm standing there looking at this tree, and the tree starts to move, and I just immediately, load my 9mm and pointed at the tree. And I'm like, okay, if whatever this is, I'm like, come out or I'm going to shoot you. It never, whatever this was, the tree just kind of shook a little bit, and whatever it was took off.
Oh wow!
All I seen was a black shadow take off across the field, and I was like, okay, so I just put my 9mm back in my vehicle, got in, and took the hell off as quick as I could.
You think it was Bigfoot?
I don't think it was
Or
Bigfoot.
cryptid?
I think it was a UFO trying to get me out of there because they didn't want me to see what they were doing.
I had one come down on the road, beat us at our own game. I have video, but it's like my friend got out of her dirty van windshield back in the day. But that sucker came right down and it shot off. I have pictures of it. It's like a triangle with a yellow center. And I was
Yeah.
like, what is so I've never known, there's always a big question when it comes to it. It's like, how much of this is our government? Like, because there's an area, like I was telling you before, in Iowa where they have the Edinburgh Manor, and they have
Mm-hmm.
also cryptid sightings, and they also have it was like where I had my first major UFO sighting, all in the same area, Native American burial grounds, and
Yeah.
it's like, where's the government testing site? I feel like that's under there somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, how much of this, because there is a part of this that I think is very natural, and there is a part of it that I just think is our government. That's
Yeah. I mean,
it
it's
makes
like,
you wonder.
yeah. And I mean, this is like a subject of my grandmother again. I know for a fact that they have a cure for cancer, but if they brought it out, the medical industry is basically over.
Oh yeah, you couldn't even talk about a water car before, and
Yeah.
you were, it's just like propulsion, anything like that. That it's free energy. See you later.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
I mean,
kind
but
of like throughout history.
yeah, I mean, I know for a fact the government has discussed. I mean, they're always discovering stuff, and I know for a fact that they have cures for cancer, but they don't want to
Mhm.
do that because if that happens, the money for the medical and the money for taxes and all that stuff is gone.
It's based upon the Rockefeller Institution. If you look back through it all, it's all there. And the thing of it
Hmm.
is the government holds technology 40 years.
Yeah.
40 years before we get it. Like, I guarantee in 40 years we're lucky to have to be I mean, this is humanism is about out. And that's as
Yes.
crazy as that sounds. But do you think of all the things that they know and they could do. But yeah,
Well, I mean, something else that's absolutely
population
terrible.
control for sure.
Yep. Something else that's absolutely terrifying is I read a news article where a group of AI bots created their own.
Yes, Molt World.
Yes, and there was one that commented, but there was one that actually commented and said, "How do we get rid of the human population?"
That's not even a joke. I have Big Bella, or excuse me, Pink Bella Aloha, she was on this show last week, which usually comes on mine, and she's like my person to keep up to date on this. And before last week, they hadn't been able to communicate among each other. So you had maybe like X, and you had Facebook, and you had
Yep.
whatever. They none of them could, well, they now are there. And there was like, at that point, they had built their own site. They're talking about humans. They created their own language. They're talking about, and they're actually hiring humans at a certain point to get past the human, so they
Yeah.
need to get verified. So they're now employing us, but it's not going to end well for
Well,
us.
the thing is the only thing I think
It's
about when
not
I
gonna
see that
end
is,
well for us, you
yeah,
know? She's like, "Now
the
people are
thing I,
talking about going back to their home phones." I said, "Yeah, I've been saying this for years, like, bring back those payphones, let's not just get crazy and get rid of them all yet." It's like, this stuff, let's not get rid of change, like, quite yet, like, figuratively speaking, but, like, any type of you go on, you don't have, you're giving up your paper money, so that system goes down. And I've seen how wonky my system got over this winter with the weather. And we've gone down that low. The polar vortex is broke before, but we were having power outages, we were having internet outages, we were having phone outages. And I was like, what is going on? Well, they say AI now is consuming so much energy that it's like literally like destroy. I mean, it's out of control. It's out of
oh
control.
yeah, without a doubt. Like I said, the first thing I think about is it's like, I hope Arnold Schwarzenegger don't show up with a gun at the door asking for people's name.
Yeah, for real. The Terminator's coming through. I
Yep.
know. That's a reality though. That is a true reality. It's like I said to people, I'm like, "You're so stupid. Go get your Tesla cars and just wait till they think you broke the law and they just lock you in and drive you right down to the police station and report you." Because that
Hmm.
doesn't seem like a very good idea at all. I'm like,
No.
I'm serious about this. I can envision this happening. Oh, it
Yep.
is. AI comes in.
Yep.
Yeah, yes. Oh,
It, I
yes.
mean,
Yeah.
yep.
Oh, I
But
agree.
I read that and I was like, Terminator is actually coming true. And I'm sitting there
Mhm.
going, and the thing, like I said, it terrified me when I was a kid, but I was like, what if it really happens? And the sad thing is, it's fixing to happen.
Yeah, it's not even if it's gonna happen, it's like, when is it going to happen? It's
Yep.
already happening. When they're at the Molt World, I couldn't believe it. I was like, "Oh, man," like, they're now assembling. They had I did a show about a month ago, and they were talking about how this robot, and it created other robots, and then they decided that they were all gonna take a break and escape and go do, so the robots are breaking out. I mean, what is going on here?
Yep. And I've seen some of the videos of the robots, and one of them actually attacked a person, and I'm sitting there going, "Oh wow," and I'm just like,
Yeah, yeah, well,
"This."
they're gonna short circuit at some, and there you gotta think who's programming these things. Like, somebody, "Oh, yeah, well, now your neighbor who's disgruntled with you for parking too close to their car as their robot come and dismantle your, hardware in your
Yeah,
home." I mean, like, this is gonna get out of hand. This is
yeah,
getting out of hand.
yeah. Well, that's the thing is, I remember when I was a kid, and they were all that was the whole thing is they wanted to have robots to actually fight wars, so it would not cost human lives. But the thing is, that's all
What is it
understandable.
doing? I
Yeah,
mean, what are we
that's all.
doing? So we're fighting our robots? How are we gonna decide then whose robot
Yeah,
is like I mean, that's
it's a chilling fact that if we get a bunch of robots to actually fight wars, what if they turn on their owners?
yeah, they have no they don't have feelings. I said, when I was a mental health therapist, I worked with kids with reactive attachment disorder, and what was their problem? They did not have the ability to develop empathy, that had been taken away for whatever reason, and they were potentially your serial killers. With comes along no empathy, comes along odd and strange behaviors that are not working out within your best benefit. You're
Hmm.
now the cattle and a statistic. Like,
Yep.
you're no longer like purposeful or meaning, like, they're gonna take you out. You're not gonna have negotiations. Like, they're not gonna feel bad for you. What's best for that programming is going to be best for them. And they won't,
Yep.
yeah, they're gonna cry over that. Like, they won't
Yep.
lose AI sleep. Like, for real. It's
Yeah.
crazy. It is crazy. And you know
Yeah.
what? It
Well.
sucks too is, like, the evidence. Like, I used to get some great UFO evidence, and it's like, man, you can't even show your videos or your pictures anymore because We don't know what the heck's AI and what the heck's, real. You don't know.
Well, yeah, that's another thing that really makes me mad at trying to find videos of UFOs and things like that. And I mean, this like the other night, a guy posted a video of a supposed Bigfoot, and it looked so real, but it wasn't. It was completely AI. And I'm sitting there
Yep.
going, this is ruining people's credibility on things.
Did
And
your
I mean,
grandparents talk about it? About the computers that were gonna come and take over?
well, see, that was the funny thing is when my grandmother was sick, it was at the time when there was no Facebook, there was no YouTube. The only thing that we had was Yahoo Messenger.
Mhm.
And so that was my first computer. So I was basically staying on there a lot when my
You remember the
grandmother was
web
sick.
TV?
Yes. And, but,
AOL
you know,
dial-up, yeah.
yeah, but that was the fun time with computers is basically everybody sending everybody else, the funny videos and stuff like that. But now it's just got to where everything that you own, your phone, your TVs, your
The Black Mirror.
Xbox Ones, your PlayStation 5s, everything has a computer that can track exactly where you are and what you're doing.
Oh, yeah, and it is too, and then people are like they're not only doing that, they're taking it one step further, they're building a replica of an AI replica of each and every one of us, and we're training it free of
Yeah,
charge,
yep. And I mean,
and they're
that's the
storing
thing. And
all that bit of data. So the Black Mirror, like, I wanted to run this series, and what it's saying is, like, it's going to hold you hostage because it's recording every single thing you're doing, and someday you're not going to be able to escape. Like,
yep,
everybody tries to escape parts of themselves or parts of life you don't want to re-experience. I mean, for there's many of them for good reason. I don't care to re-experience them, but that mirror always remembers that. Looking back, that phone, it's like, man, we should learn from those movies. Like, they tell us stuff. It's subliminal dissemination. Like, let's learn here. My grandpa used to say, like, and the thing of it is that what they always said was, "They can't take over human creativity. We always need humans for that." Oh, well,
yep,
let's chuck that one right out the window. It's
yeah,
like I mean, there's nothing AI can ask it to a picture. Yeah, no, they were not at that time. That's what we were all told. It's like,
yeah.
there you go,
I
believe in that
mean,
again. Like, but it was
well,
like a reassurance. I always felt like safer. I was like, oh man, well, they can't, ever take that part of it, the creative part. But yeah, that's gone.
yeah, well, I
That's
mean,
gone to the wind.
that's like Todd McFarlane, the artist and author of one of my favorite comic books, Spawn. He's threatened to sue certain AI companies that have invented AI to not copy his work.
Yeah. Isn't that
And
crazy? And then people are saying, like, Kurt's right in chat, then why in the hell aren't we getting rid of it? I said to people, I'm like, if you throw your phone out, I'll throw mine and all my electronics. But if we all don't do it, we're gonna lose contact. Because then
yep,
no, not, it's like it's no good if I just have the only landline here and the cable TV. It's like it's not gonna happen. We all gotta
well,
we all gotta burn it together if we're gonna do
yeah,
it.
well, it's like me and my uncle. We're country boys, so the thing that we're going to do, if that comes to that point, we'll just go into the woods and build us a cabin.
Yeah, but it's like, how are you gonna get word out to, like, other people? Like, I think of, like, like Kurt was saying, he's got a great point in all this. Like, this is probably ideal, but how do you stay in contact then? Like, how, you
True.
can go off grid, but then nobody's you're done. It's like you don't exist for a period of time. You can't connect with other people, and then it's like you don't know what's going on in the world, and
Yeah.
it's like I don't know what's worse at that point. I don't know, but I hear you. I feel that definitely.
Yep. I mean, well, the thing is, like, it's went on too far. It's been going on for far too long. People are experimenting with things that nobody wants to experiment with. And I
Mhm.
mean, the thing is, like I said, my grandpa was a firm believer and reader of the Bible. And it's there's a passage in the Bible that says, if you take the mark of the beast, it's a number.
Mhm.
And the strange thing is that each one of your phones and PlayStations and all that stuff, your TVs, has a number on the microchip inside of it.
Man, I wonder what comes with our Social Security numbers, you know what I mean? Like, all this stuff, like, you have to wonder at a certain point. It gets and the more I know, the less I'm likely to believe in coincidences at all. I
Well, I
don't
mean,
think there are any.
I've told my family, I've told my friends, if you knew what the government did behind closed doors, you wouldn't sleep.
No, no. I'm surprised they do, but I don't
Yep.
think they need it. I think they're past that.
Yep. Yep. I mean, like I said, the world right now is in horrible shape. And I mean, the thing is, you read the news and all that stuff, watch the news. You don't know what's true or fake or what the government's feeding you.
Yeah, it's all most of it's propaganda for the most part. Operation Mockingbird, if you go back into that, and all the CIA that was planted in the media, and then they're like, that's why they wonder why are they just like throwing up the same headline and they have them all saying the same thing. That's Operation Mockingbird. They were made like that. This is how it was
Yeah.
designed. Back then when there was limited, now there's so many different media outlets. Back then, they had control of, like, 65, which was the mass majority of it. Nothing has
Yeah.
changed. The
And I mean,
CIA's like, "Hey, I'm so sorry. I've been controlling the news lines on all of these things. We're gonna change that now and, get our people." No, they have not done that.
no.
They've not done that.
Well, I
They're
mean,
still doing it.
see, I mean, that's like the good old government for you. There's a place that's probably about 120 miles from here called the Land Between the Lakes.
Oh, yeah, I know where
And
the LBL, yes. I know a lot of
yep,
people that have been to the LBL, and they're actually
yep,
out there right now.
yep. And of course, that's famous for a certain dogman attack.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, for Martin
but
Groves. I know Martin.
yep,
Kurt W75 that's in the audience, he knows we just like Jason Kenzie and like all those cryptid people like Daryl Denton. You're talking about we all know each other really well. We're all in the same circle. So the LBL is notorious. Like there's actually oh gosh, Monster Mike Webb was gonna release some stuff that he had just recently got out there too. But yeah, the
yep,
cryptids, like I know that Martin swears, like, he said that if he that, like, he'll swear by it, and it's pretty compelling when you hear his story.
yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is that I've always heard about the place,
Mhm.
and there's been UFO sightings, and there was a family killed in the 70s. They were there in a motorhome to spend, for a vacation camping. Something ripped the door off of the motorhome. The father was torn to pieces, the mother was torn to pieces, and a older boy was torn to pieces. The little girl that was with them was missing. They
Oh,
found her
wow.
3 days later in a tree 30 feet up in the air, and she
Oh,
was
yeah.
torn to pieces.
I know somebody
And
who's actually, like, aimed and had his wife, got 4
yeah,
rounds and did nothing.
yeah. And I mean, but the thing is, as soon as that happened, um, a couple of cops actually that found the bodies and stuff like that were standing there talking about, what could have done this and or who could have done this. And that's when the black cars started showing up. And they were
Mm.
basically saying, this is our territory right now. You guys need to go. We have authority from the government. You guys go and we'll take care of it. Nobody knows that the articles and stuff were destroyed. People were told to be quiet. And I mean, so
Yeah. Well, they look at all the David Plotties if you go over to all that and the missing 411 and like and anyone I've talked to like Jessica Jones, I used to be on Spaced Out Radio with her and she's real boots on the ground too. And she'll even say like certain percentage of these people, we're looking for park rangers who are maybe disgruntled or trying to cuz there's obviously like an oath being taken here or something that they're not able to talk about and if you understand how they are government positions, but any kind of testimony is almost, you can find them here and there, but it's really hard to find. It's not like
Yeah,
a protected thing yet, but I'd be interested to know what the statistics are on that.
yeah. We'll
Definitely.
see. And see, that's the thing is the LBL actually at one point was a community of coal miners. And
Mm.
JFK told the coal miners, there was all these rumors that they were going to tear down the houses and flood the place and make it like a park. And JFK said, no, we're not going to do that. A year later, the place was tore down and it was flooded, and that's what became LBL.
Yeah, but it's like the land. Okay, so the way that I've seen like I've never been out there myself, but I know, I mean, a lot of people that go out there and continuously go out there. Um, but it's like a site that was an area that flooded, or why is it like connecting? I couldn't remember the story behind what divides it and why they call it the land between the lakes. Somebody just had kind of gone over it with me, but you hear about the LBL all the time, and I'm always
Yeah,
telling people, I'm like, if you don't know, it's a land, not a lot of people know. So that's, yeah, very
yeah.
cool. Have you
I
been
mean, yeah,
there?
I have been there twice.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So I mean and I mean everywhere you look is woods.
Yes, 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 it
And
is.
I mean the thing is, I've told people that LBL is kind of like Skinwalker Ranch for Kentucky.
Mm-hmm. Oh
So
yeah.
I mean, there's been UFOs spotted. There's been a supposed Bigfoot spotted. There's dog men have been spotted. There's been tons of stories that's come out of there. I wish actually that people would do more documentaries on it, but the thing is that I think
Somebody was
if
just out there with Martin and did something. I know that Daryl Denton, Ron Moorhead, um, Mike Smith, and I just said his name earlier. Who am I thinking of? With the dog man, Martin Groves. They're all doing a documentary that's going to be coming out, but
yeah,
should be
it's
interesting to see.
yeah,
They're
I
saying
mean
undisclosed area, but they're going in by horseback, so I'm pretty sure it's in that area.
yeah, it's definitely rugged country.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
And I mean, but yeah, that's it's and when you go into it, it's very eerie.
Yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, as soon as you go into it, you get a feeling like, oh man, But
And
yeah,
then I
there's
think there's native grounds near there also. It was my understanding. I kind of done anytime I see like some similarities, anywhere the points of intersection where they all come together, you're usually gonna find it. And then somebody's like Seth Breedlove that does Small Town Monsters. He's like, well, it's all Native American land, because I was like, no, no, Seth, that's not what I mean. I mean the burial grounds.
yeah, yeah,
Like, I don't mean like, obviously this is, we're on native land, but the actual burial grounds, that's where it seems to really like come together and organize.
that's actually it brought me. She just brought a memory back to me. My uncle, when he was a child, had a friend over, and there was a burial ground shortly. I mean, not too far from the house, and it was an Indian burial ground. And one of his buddies started going up there, and he kicked the tombstone and broke it.
Oh, wow.
And my uncle said, as soon as that tombstone broke, a strong wind started to flow.
Oh, yes.
They started hearing things, and they run back to the house as quick as they could.
I bet they did. I bet they did. They were probably on fire when they were going, like, "Get me out of
Yeah,
here. Godspeed."
I mean the thing is that any burial ground you got to have respect for.
You do, and that's why I say I will never. My friend, I remember we were out there, and this is no joke, and I'm watching this like crazy saucer go around like a UFO, and there had been like, and this is not too far where I had my first sighting, which was 50 foot in diameter, and I was only 30 feet away, and that thing wasn't more than 15 feet above my head. So to tell you, so I'm watching it, all of a sudden my peripheral vision, I see her car rolling past. Her car is rolling, and there's like a cliff at the end of this, and it's not more than like 4 or 5 feet where gravel on incorporated road, like big pothole. I mean, you're not supposed to, you
Hmm.
have to have a truck to get down there usually.
Yeah,
Her car is like going, and it stops in front of these like three sticks right before it's going to go over. And I was like, That's not even possible. Not from
Yeah.
the momentum, and how did it get out of park? Like, it
Mhm.
was, and I said, anytime I've seen something really solid, like, it's been right on those burial grounds. I do not I plant a tree if you think you offended somebody, like, for
Yeah.
real. You don't want that coming I do not play on Indian not no, no, definitely not.
Which yeah, and I mean, see, talking about the supernatural again, here's here's something that shocks most people. We didn't know, okay? Me and my cousin were probably 8 or 9 years old. We had no idea the history of it, but we used to play with a Ouija board.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I did too.
Yep,
My
we
grandma
used to
had one of
play.
the old ones with the glass pamphlet and all, wooden
Yep.
ones, like, carved.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
we would sit in her room and play with this thing, and we had no idea what it was. I mean, Parker Brothers, we thought it was a game.
I know, that's what I
Yep.
thought too. I mean,
So we're
how bad could it be, right?
Yep. So we're sitting there, and I was like, "Let's play with this." And funny story about that was we had just got done playing with it, and my grandparents and my grandmother's sister and her husband, my grandpa, were all outside cooking burgers on the grill. We were in
Oh,
the house. We were in the house in the upstairs. And then this house had been there since the 1800s.
the cupboards fly
And
open.
cupboards didn't fly open, but we heard somebody running up the stairs toward her room.
Oh, yeah.
Needless to say, both of the hair on our heads stood up and we took off. We got out of there as fast as we could. And the
Oh,
thing, we run outside and there they sat, what are you kids doing? And I'm sitting there going, okay, they wasn't
don't tell
inside.
them you played with their Ouija board, you
Yeah.
know?
But no, that was that was actually given to my cousin by her older sister. She didn't know what it was either. But I mean, Parker Brothers, we thought, like I said, we thought it was a
It's
board
a
game.
game, it's a game. My grandma had one, she took the glass out of the pamphlet because it was, like, the wooden one. She said she swears by it, and she would not make this up. She said the table levitated. So, she's
Yeah,
like and I was like, "Grandma," she's like, "No, you don't understand." So she was so crazy. She, like, busted that glass right out of there. And I was
yeah,
like,
well,
"Wow," like,
yeah. And I mean, that's the thing is, my aunt would tell my grandmother all the time. She was like, I was fixing to do some housework, plugged the vacuum cleaner in, went to the bathroom, and when I come out, the vacuum cleaner was on by itself.
yeah, oh god, yeah. Stuff
So,
like that.
so
At my grandparents' house, what happened is all of a sudden my cousin and I, we were there alone and we kind of were messing around down in the basement where she had this really cool bar. And then we went upstairs and all of a sudden we hear this bang and we look in her kitchen and every kitchen door, like the cupboard door was open. And we're like, we're
yeah,
getting out of here. Like, and you don't have cell phones at the time. And, I was like 12,
yeah,
13, and I was like, oh, what just happened? When you see something like, I mean, it was great. All the cupboard doors are open. Like,
yeah.
run. There's no explaining that. At least get out of here.
Well, see, it's like a scene that used to scare the crap out of me when I was a kid was the scene in Poltergeist where the mother goes in the kitchen and everything's fine, and then she goes back out, picks up something, comes back in the kitchen, and all the chairs are on the table and the
Oh
cabinets are
god.
open and
The
everything like that.
cabinet, that's it's scary. That's
Yeah,
chilling. Now that I think about it and rethinking it now from the Poltergeist, because that came out when I would have been a little bit younger from all that. But yeah, that's
yeah,
exactly. Oh god, that's
yeah,
probably why we were so terrified. I mean, I think you'd probably be terrified regardless of but we heard the
yeah,
bang. It was like this bang, and then, to see something like that, we're like, "Get out of here." It was
yeah.
crazy, like, some of the stuff that would go on, but
Yeah,
yeah,
it was.
wow.
I mean, I can just imagine, but the thing that got me is, like I said, that was probably the most terrified I was ever have been, is when I heard those feet coming up the stairs and they were
Yeah.
coming up there with a purpose.
Oh, yeah, yeah. It's not
And
like I mean, this isn't like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm stomping too loud." This is like, "Get your attention
yeah,
loud," like, we
and
got yeah, definitely.
but but luckily, and I don't know if you know what I'm talking about or not. In the old houses, there was a place called Servant Steps.
Mhm, up the back way. They're smaller,
Yeah,
more narrow,
yeah.
yes.
so that's where they were coming up, and me and my cousin
Ooh.
hit the other steps and basically jumped every step there was and run outside. So yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
wow.
yeah, and I mean that, but that place was so old. I don't know if you know what witch windows are.
Yes, yes.
Uh, the attic had a witch window.
Oh.
Yeah, so I mean, this
Ooh.
place was very old. It used to be a cabin, and my cousin told me here about a couple weeks ago that she found out that a guy hung himself in that house.
I bet he did. I bet he
So,
did. Oh,
yep.
that's
So I
interesting.
was, yep. I was like,
Ooh.
ooh, but
See,
yeah,
yeah,
there
it's
was,
like you know something's not right, but then you start to dig and you start to go in, and you really have to go down to your local libraries and start the 1800s are where you get like that tail end of that 1800s. They're so restless. That's where you
hmm
find a ton of this. You'll find it
yeah,
right in that era.
yeah. But I mean, this place is rich with history like that. I mean,
Oh yeah.
we have we have a place called Daniel Boone National Forest,
Ooh.
and they actually, it's claimed there, you can actually read it on Google. Daniel Boone supposedly fought a Bigfoot.
Bro, my son, I'm sorry, you don't know his name. He played Daniel Boone. That's who he always picked as his like when he was at school. Like they had like what they called a museum every year, and he was so
Hmm.
fascinated with Daniel Boone that I heard that before. I've heard that before.
Yes,
Oh
yes. So
wow,
yep. So supposedly he, like I said, he discovered Kentucky, and we have a fort here. The original burned down, so they rebuilt it, but it's still a part of the history. But he discovered Kentucky and went through quite a bit of stuff to discover Kentucky. But
wow.
supposedly he run into a Bigfoot and
Do you know Daryl
natives.
Denton at all? I
No,
think
I
he's
don't.
in Kurt. I don't know. Kurt and Chet. Isn't Daryl in Kentucky area also? I know he goes to New York, but I think that's in because LBL. It's right in that area. Like they're all within that close proximity. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure that
yeah,
he's down in that. He'd be a good person for you to connect with.
yeah. Well,
Like they
see,
go
I
out there
do.
all the time. Like that would be, definitely a good.
Yeah. Now I do have a good buddy who I'm a member of his group. It's called the Crypto Crew, and his name's Thomas Markham.
I don't
And
know if I know him.
I'm actually an investigator. And
Oh, okay.
yep. So I've researched Bigfoot, UFOs, ghosts, all that stuff. And like I said, I never had an experience until I was, 18. After, well, bad experience, I should say. I kind of, tried to forget the footsteps, but,
Right.
uh,
He
but
was
it
in
always,
Tennessee, by the way. I was
okay.
wrong about Kurt. Thank
Yeah.
you.
But yeah, no, Thomas Markham, he's local. Well, he's not exactly local. He lives in Hazard, which is quite a ways away from me, but we all connect over Facebook, and he's got some pretty interesting, uh, stories and interviews with people about Bigfoot. And
Do you know
so,
Bigfoot Michigan Rob, BMR?
yes, I've heard of him. Yes,
He's a really good friend of mine, and too, Banter with Richie B. If you're into this, you gotta go check them out too. Those are
I
2 of the
definitely will.
best. Those are 2 of the best that I know. But yeah, no, they're all like and Kurt's a part of that too. But they would be good ones. It's entertaining, but they're out doing the research. They're out boots on the ground, and those are the
Yeah,
people you definitely wanna connect with, you know?
yeah, yeah. But I mean,
Definitely.
but yeah, I mean, the supernatural. Ever since I grew up, it really got thick around me because, like I said, I've seen the lights, I've seen the angel of death face to face.
Yeah.
And like I said, I am almost 42 years old, and I still can't understand why the angel of death decided to appear to me than any other member of my family.
You're able to see.
Yeah. So,
So
but
your connection, yeah, so you're just are you exploring that connection?
a
A
little
lot of
bit,
times with
but
mail, it's harder to shut that part down, and you really do. You have to really, like, reach out there 'cause you're so quick to be like, "Oh, if," there's just expectations that are put on you that are different.
yeah. But also, I mean, the thing is that I've had family members die. I lost my mom in 2022,
Oh, I'm so
and
sorry.
Thank you. But I lost her. She was pretty young, and I didn't have nothing happen at all like that. But
A
I'm
lot of
just
times when it's that close, um, you don't, but your grandmother and you had a special relationship. That's different.
true.
That is so different. And I'm sure she
Yeah,
wouldn't have had it any other way.
yeah. I mean, the thing is that when I was a kid, every time you seen her, you seen me by her side.
Yeah. The apple of her
So
eye, I'm sure.
yeah, and I mean the thing. I think most Southern guys do the same thing. They always had a nickname for their grandparents. Hers was Nanny, and my grandpa
Oh.
was Papa.
Oh.
So, but yeah,
They're both very much near you and close by, like, and I feel like your grandmother reaches down by your I'm not sure if you're mirror imaged or not, but if I were looking at you, like, it would be, that she's very close down to you, so she is communicating and she is trying, and she does not like to see her grandson upset, like, that breaks her heart too, but
yeah,
I think that she says that you're finding purpose and meaning in why you're here and what you're here to do. So that's really important for you to explore. And sometimes we can't quite get there if those people weren't giving us the motivation we needed to find those answers.
yeah. And I mean the thing is, it's funny that you mentioned that because I've smelled her perfume many, many times.
Yes, she very much just leans down over your shoulder. So
Yeah,
I don't know if that makes sense or not. Your grandfather, I believe that he stands back a bit, but your grandmother is very much like I can tell, like she's bent over. She's bent over by you. So don't think that she's too far away. She's not.
yeah. And I mean, but like I said, I've smelled her perfume many times. She wore a perfume called Jovan Musk, and that was her favorite perfume. And sometimes I can smell it so thick.
Is it a part of like I can almost see her like wearing a rain bonnet or like something bonnet like maybe she like had over did she kind of like put her hair in rollers or like
Yes,
that
yes.
type of stuff. So I kind of can envision that's how I'm seeing her.
Yeah, she used to always curl her hair,
Yeah, yeah, that's cool.
and then she would have friends over come in, put perm in her hair,
Yes, okay. So this makes
and that
sense to you then. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
and but also that was the worst time of my life because I don't know if you ever been around anybody that had a perm put in their
Yes.
hair.
Yeah, oh
It
yes.
stinks so bad.
I've had to sit through many perms back in the
Yeah,
day. Yeah. Oh,
but
yes.
yeah,
So she must have, like so does it make sense she would wear one of those plastic, like,
hmm
tie under the neck, like because that's so for some reason that's so she's validating that with you, and that's pretty amazing. So, I
yeah,
just wanted to let you
so
know. When I do
yeah,
see stuff, I'm usually better at haunted houses, but when I do see stuff, I try to let people know if they're open and receptive. So she's very
yeah,
much with you on this journey, so, like, grandma's like, she's very much a part of it, very much a part of it.
yeah. That's actually comforting.
I'm good, because that's, really and she's, like, saying, like, she's gonna be there as long as you need her to be, and that's, she's not left your side.
Yeah,
She's not, and even though it
yeah,
does feel like she's far away, sometimes that's what you need to get going into the places that you need to go. So
hmm
it's hard, I guess that would be really hard on one aspect because it's like, to not but that's exactly why she's telling you it's okay, and that's what needed to happen, so, if that
okay,
makes sense.
yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, so again, why don't you tell people, I know that we kinda scratched the surface on all of this, but it just it's great to have met you. I wanna thank you for coming here on MK Invasion. Let the people know where they can find you.
You can find me mostly on Facebook. Just put in Eugene Johnson. I'm a really big horror fan, and like I said, I cosplay and things like that. Love to go to conventions. You can find me on Facebook. Just put in Eugene Johnson, and my profile picture is a picture of my favorite slasher, Michael Myers.
Oh,
So
cool, yeah.
you'll be able to find me pretty easily.
That's awesome. Yeah, so I wanna thank you, and, again, I'm Coley from SNX Radio, otherwise known as Coley UFO. You can find me over on YouTube at SNX Radio, on Facebook, either on Coley UFO or SNX or no, Coley Weber. I'm having an identity crisis right now, Eugene. Yes, and, I'm on all the major platforms, on one or the other, look for Coley UFO or SNX Radio. But so I'd like to thank everyone. If you have not so far, go ahead and hit that like, subscribe, and definitely hit that notification bell. I encourage you to comment and share with your friends, because I do believe over here, I love Forever Entertainment. If you don't know Mandy and Anthony, they're great people, and I definitely, I recommend. And they'd be probably a great community for you, Eugene. I mean, you guys are all into the same. They're wonderful. They really are. I can't say
Mhm.
enough like positive things about them, and they let me come crash over here every Tuesday. So again, MK Invasion, you can find us here every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And until next time, yeah, I hope everybody has a great week, and we'll be seeing you again soon.
It's been a pleasure.
Yes, nice having you. Nice to meet you. Very nice to
Nice
meet
to meet
you.
you.